They say read between the lines, but I skipped a couple lines while you was busy doing lines. I was signing dotted lines. Keep my circle tight like 3.14 pop. My circumference don't allow no dusty bitch intrude inside, huh? Hating ass hussies, give me that evil eye. But fuck you and your clip, bitch, I rebuke that red eye. Cause if you try to violate or cross the line, I'ma have to hit up my head to Gemini. Yeah, if I do my math correct, she's a baddie strapped with the knife. Fuck around with me, she gon' give you that third eye. 9 divided by 3, I hit her up, she gon' tell me the...
Alright, here we go. We have one of the most promising and rising artists like out of Toronto right now, Galxcee. How are you doing today?
I'm alright, how are you?
Doing alright. Thank you for coming by to the Lens of Yashu for the very first time. Something that's like very big, for anyone to come by, especially with the first interview. I know right now you had your first song out right now, which is on like Spotify and all that. Like, I don't know if you want to like talk more about that.
My song, Gemini, it's out right now. Make sure you check it out. But yeah, it's Gemini, my first single, and I'm so excited because I'm getting so much support from it. And yeah, just make sure y'all check it out. Gemini, yeah.
Yeah, no, most definitely, and you had like an interesting start right now because you started off like your rap career on that too, but then also you also had like some snippets of you like actually like singing at like bars and all that.
Yes.
Which we'll get like more into like later on too, but this is more so your story right now. Mm-hmm. And I want to start off. So you actually said before the interview started that you actually grew up in Brooklyn. That's correct?
Yeah, so part-time Toronto, part-time Brooklyn. Oh. So yeah, I was in Brooklyn and then found my way back home to Toronto, and here I am for the past couple of years now.
True. So which ends did you grow up in Toronto, and what was it like for you back growing up as a kid? Would you say it was very great back then, or would it be different?
So growing up in Toronto back in the days, I grew up in Scarborough. More east though, closer to like going towards Pickering, but like that's where I grew up, and it was very quiet back then. So I'd have to go out towards Malvern or Galloway just to see what's going on because the area that I grew up in was quiet. Yeah,
no doubt. And in that specific area, were there like ever any musical influences or like talent that inspired you to take part in like the music scene though?
So I would say the musical influences growing up would have been more so my family, because pretty much everybody in my family is talented. I even have like a nephew right now that is out, Jodah, Jodah. He's out as well right now. So like I have a lot of talent in my family, everybody. So yeah, pretty much everybody, just not my father, but my father is a music guy. He's a record collector. He's really into music. So that's where it kind of started from, especially too with me.
Yeah. And what was like your first like introduction to music when you were first like encountering to it like for a bit?
So my first introduction to music as a child was basically, as I had stated, my father. He's a record collector, and I just remember like going down in the basement at home, and he's playing his big speakers, all the music. He had a whole lot of records, the 45s, if anybody remembers that, and he would just play different songs, especially soul music, R&B, jazz, and a lot of reggae, rock steady music, if anybody knows, because I am of Jamaican culture. So yeah, I just remember that as a child, and going down, and he had the microphone too because he would DJ. So I would take the microphone and whatever song he had on, I'm singing. I have the mic and I'm singing and I'm dancing because I really did dance too as a child. But singing, music has always been a passion of mine. Singing, rapping, everything like that. So it's always been a passion of mine deep down inside that one day I was going to be a star and people would see me and I'd be able to communicate with people through music and help people with their emotions. So that's where I am now today.
Yeah, no doubt. I know you talked more about like how you got into like singing and music, for your family and all that. And you also like talked a little bit more on the musical history and background with your father record collecting, a family member like also being a part of like music too, Jodah. But what made you decide on like wanting to become like a musician and artist like as like a career in that sense?
Well, what made me decide that was actually, back in Brooklyn, I actually used to go to the studio and try to do my little music thing. Now, since I've come back to Toronto, and my sister kind of dragged me out to karaoke one night. Ever since then, I love karaoke. And when I would go to karaoke, I would always hear from people in the audience like, why don't you take this seriously? But originally, when I did come back to Toronto, I did try to go to the studio and, you know, do my thing, but it just wasn't the right time. So now where I am in life is that it's something that is a passion of mine, and I feel this is what I'm supposed to do. This is my assignment. And I'm going to do it. I'm doing it now. People at karaoke, they would love to hear me sing. And like, it would be to the point where I'd see tears come out of people's eyes with certain songs I would sing. And even though I sing, I'm also able to rap. And I have a passion with rap music, hip hop. So I kind of more lean towards that, but I've always, as a child, singing. That's been my thing. But I do hip hop, and I do love hip hop just as much. I love all music, so yeah.
I know. Nah, I definitely know what you mean too. And you know, like at the karaoke like videos that you had, like at the bar, you had I think this one song from Monica, like that was like on her like After the Storm project too. Like you aced it like very well too. Better. And I think you also had like another song that was like out like on YouTube, like that is also like a karaoke type song.
I think it was Rihanna. Diamonds.
Yeah.
I did that. But yeah, that's me. When I'm at karaoke, I rap, I sing. I started off singing, but later on in the years as I got older, the hip hop was what really got me. I would listen to it, but I never attempted to really rap until I was about 14 years old. And I do remember when I was 14, there was an artist at the time. He's out right now too. I think his name right now, he changed his name to Monaco Santana maybe. And he had also kind of showed me the whole hip hop, the rapping thing. So yeah, I was able to rap from before, but I would sing too. So it just kind of, it's both. Best of both worlds.
No, I definitely know what you mean too. So aside from that artist, you know, being like maybe like one of your like influences to start like in music, what other like artists or genres were you mainly like influenced by, and who would you like to work with someday like musically like in the future?
Okay, so who am I influenced by? I would have to say well, the genre that influences me is, I would have to say, hip hop, soul music, R&B, pop, a little bit of dancehall, you know, and like, which artist would I like to work with? Or which artist influences me?
Like, you could say, like, both. Like, who, like, influenced you musically, and who would you like to work with, like, someday?
Musically, I would say who influenced me. Anita Baker, and Mary J. Blige, and Left Eye. Missy. Yes, definitely Missy. I used to love Lil' Kim, although at times I was not allowed to listen to Lil' Kim, but I love Lil' Kim. And just even as I'm getting older, Nicki influences me because she does both as well. And honestly, Nicki helped me find myself too. Like, listen, you can do it. You don't just have to pick one. You can do both. You know, if that's what you like, you do it. So yeah.
No doubt. No, I mean, that's like an interesting like set of like names right there. I know like Anita Baker, just a year back, she did like a versus battle with like Patti LaBelle, and like that was like probably like one of the most like interesting like highlights of like music history and all that.
I have to correct you on that though. It wasn't Anita Baker, it was Gladys Knight.
Yeah, I actually got those two confused for a bit too, but like I think like that one.
But
like,
all those 80s, Gladys, Patti, and like Anita, Donna Summers, like you know, with the funk and everything. Though that's the kind of music like I grew up on. So yeah, like I grew up on that kind of music, and Mary J, you know,
I mean, yeah, Mary J, she just dropped like a new project.
New album, Good Morning Gorgeous. You know, and I listen to that right now too. And who I would love to work with though, August Alsina. Because like I find not only with Mary, but with August Alsina, people don't really hear about him too much, but he's very passionate with his music as well, from one of the male artists, right? And for me, I write. Everything you hear is written by me, Galxcee. I write everything. I am a writer. So I notice with his music too, like he writes very deep. It's passionate. you can feel it. And that's the same thing with Mary. We all know how Mary is, you know. So yeah, if I could work with somebody, I'd want to work with August or Mary. Jadakiss, I love how Jadakiss, listen, I love Jadakiss. I actually met Jadakiss in the Eaton Center when I was like 14. Couldn't go to his show because I was too young, but yeah, these are the raps like that and the artists that influenced me, you know. And Kanye. Kanye is a Gemini just like me, so yes.
Nah, most definitely. I mean, like, everyone right now, you know, like, they've been like getting noticed like recently too, with either like the controversial stuff, or like even like with the music. So you know, like, always you're gonna hear something from them too, either way, you know. But getting back into you right now, you know, for first time listeners, I know that you dropped the Gemini track, but how would you describe your music to them, and what can they expect from you?
So my music, specifically with Gemini, what people know about a Gemini is that a Gemini has two sides. So that song Gemini is for people to figure out too, am I speaking about me, or am I speaking about an actual person named Gemini? It was just kind of a game I was playing, but I like to write, and like with my writing, I'm very creative. I'm creative and I'm passionate about my writing. So yeah, it was just kind of, I was sitting there and I actually had that song written from before, but what I did, I pulled it back up from my vault and just kind of tweaked it a little bit and made it Gemini, because I'm starting to understand myself as well, with me being the Gemini sign. Like, I really do have two sides to me. I'm this way 1 minute and another, I'm like, yeah, I have different sides to me, and I'm very versatile with music too, so it works.
No doubt. And you know, like, coming into the game, like in the Toronto music scene, like, what do you bring to the table, like as a rising artist from there? Sorry about that. And what makes you different from the rest?
What makes me different is that I'm a leader. I'm not a follower. So I do what I feel would make my supporters what they would like. I don't need to follow everybody else. Like, you know, I mean, everybody, as somebody stated, that a lot of people are clicked up, but I'm a leader, not a follower. So I vibe on my own. I don't need a whole clique to be with me to get my point across with music, especially in a video or anything. No, I do it on my own, because I know what I'm singing or what I'm rapping or anything. I'm not capping on anything, you know? So, yeah. And I gotta say, too, I would love to work with Remy Ma. Yes, Remy.
All right.
Shout out to Remy Ma.
Shout out to all, like, the dope, like, females, like, mentioned, too. I mean, I also, like, rock with Eve. I also, like, rock with, like, Trina, too. Like, I think those two are kind of, like, legendary, like, acts, like, from there, like...
The Brat. Listen.
Yes. Either way, you know. As far as your short-term and long-term goals, what are they for your music career right now?
So my short-term goals for my music right now is just to get projects out there for supporters to learn who Galxcee is, so that I can also make music that will make them happy, because I feel my best way of communication with people is through music. And I like to even make music based on how somebody else is feeling. Like, what are you going through, you know? And I can make something geared to how somebody else is feeling. If my supporters are feeling this way, I'm gonna make something, you know, I'm gonna listen to them. So my short-term goal is to just gain more supporters, you know, for people to know who Galxcee is. And for long-term?
For long-term as well.
For long-term, to leave a legacy. For people to know that my music will be played when I'm not here. I'm no longer here. That my children and my children's children will know that I left a legacy. I made great music, you know. I made music for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, so that's my long term, my short term and my long term.
Yeah. Nah, most definitely. Do you have a creative process, like, when you make, like, a song, and what would a day in, like, making or recording music be like for you?
Okay, so my creative process is just being in my zen. Literally, it could be me in my car, just driving somewhere, and then it just hits me, you know? It hits me, and then I just start. And from there, once I have that first line, I just start going and going and going. And sometimes it's just me with my phone in my hand. Something comes across me, I just got to record it, get it real quick to understand, to start building from that. Could be me just sitting in my room on my bed on the right hand side and just it hits me. I could be listening to a beat. Sometimes I don't need a beat, sometimes I do.
Yeah,
you know,
no doubt. I mean, you have Gemini out right now,
yes.
which I guess it's like doing like very well. Like the visuals were like very unique. Like the
yes.
rapping was, you know, like above the rim. Like it's like very like well cohesive, like well written.
Yes.
And you know, I want to talk more about that. Mm-hmm. So, what was like the creative process and the inspiration for that track?
The creative process was basically me once again going back into that vault and just taking it out, because I had written something before, recorded it, went to the studio, recorded it, laid it out, went back and listened to it a couple times, but realized that myself as an artist, I had elevated from that. So, and I tend to do this too with a lot of my songs. I will go back and fine tune them because I've grown now as an artist. So with Gemini, I was really into like, okay, understanding myself as a Gemini, and realized that a Gemini does have two sides to them. Like you're either mean or you're happy or whatever. You have a whole bunch of sides actually. But just being creative with that, I kind of played around with that zodiac sign of Gemini. So I said in it, like, I'm gonna have to hit up my head of Gemini. Like, if I do my math correct, she's a baddie strapped with the 9. So, like, that's the evil side of a Gemini, you know? Yeah. And then I'm the happy side of the Gemini. Yeah. So, yeah.
Like, sort of like a yin and yang.
Yang,
like
exactly.
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean.
Twins.
Yeah. I know, like, you know, even, like, in that sense, too, like, there's two sides to every person. Like, you know, like, I know, like, Polo G, he had, like, a song, like, Free-Headed Goat and all that, which it kind of has, like, free personas, like, even, like, the whole idea of, like, dramaturgy, like, the front and back personalities. Would you say it was kind of something like that, like, with Gemini for a bit, too?
Yes. Yes. So I'm when it comes to music, I'm very creative. My wordplay, like, is amazing. Like, even male rappers, like, males don't think females can do it as good as them, but listen, I don't know, they may need to think not twice but 3 times about that, because my wordplay skills, yeah,
I definitely know what you mean. You know, coming into the scene, like, as, like, an up-and-coming artist, and even before as, like, you know, a spectator, you know, like, someone, like, before the game, like, how did you feel about the Toronto music scene, like, at the moment? Do you feel that there should be some changes on the direction of where the scene should go to, or do you feel like it's fine the way it is?
I feel that there are many talented artists out there on the scene. I just feel that more of them, though, need to be leaders. People need to find themselves when it comes to music. Like, for me, like, I found myself, I can't say I'm a rapper, a rapper or a singer, but I'm, like, I found myself, and they need to not, like, you know, limit themselves to what they can do, you know, but there is a lot of talented artists out there, you know, and I hope to see many more come out, you know?
No doubt. And, you know, what's next for you? Like, what's next for you, sorry about that, like, for the rest of the year in terms of music and creative projects and so forth? And do you have any, like, final words you'd like to say for any creative or any person out there pursuing their dreams?
So what's next for me is to not stop, and I'm going to be dropping project after project after project. It ain't about the money. It's just a passion. And for people to know who I am, and just hopefully that people can, when they're in a moment, because, you know, songs do remind us of times in our life, but I want to be able to have that song that a person can go to and say, you know, I remember where I was when this song came out. I remember around this era. This is, like, you know, like, I want to be in that that category in life, and I'm hoping I'm gonna make it to the Hall of Fame. You know, I will make it there because I'm manifesting that. And yeah, but yeah, any positive words that I would like to say for the people, just as I do say on one of my upcoming songs that you're gonna hear, and if it's one thing about me, listen to the lyrics of my music. I don't just rap or sing just to rap or sing. There's meaning to it. Just like how they used to do it back in the days, there's meaning to the things that I'm saying, whether I'm rapping or singing. There's a story behind it. It's something that people can take from. It's not just whatever, you know. So if there's one thing I can say, as I say in one of my upcoming songs, be the best version of you. Don't let anybody stop you. You know, always be the best version of you.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, that's what I want to say to everybody. And I love you all, and thank you for all the support. And make sure that you follow your girl on Instagram, Galxcee Music, GALXCEEMUSIC. Make sure you follow me there, because you know I'm gonna be dropping projects where I want the people to be involved too. I want them to be a part of the project when it drops, you know, because even though I have Gemini, it's, you know, it's, I have songs that are very positive as well, because I do think about, you know, the kids. So yeah, that's me, Galxcee, GALXCEE. Check me out on YouTube, and just make sure you follow me, follow your girl.
Yeah, most definitely.
I'm a cross between the six. This is my home, but I also have that Brooklyn in me too. But I am from Toronto, and this is my home. And yeah, I love you all.
Most definitely. Until next time.
Yes.
Yeah. They say read between the lines, but I skipped a couple lines while you was busy doing lines. I was signing dotted lines. Keep my circle tight like 3.14 pop. My circumference don't allow no dusty bitch intrude inside, huh? Hating ass hussies, give me that evil eye, but fuck you and your clip, bitch. I rebuke that red eye. Cause if you try to violate or cross the line, I'ma have to hit up my head, the Gemini. Yeah, if I do my math correct, she's the baddie strapped with the knife. Fuck around with me, she gon' give you that third eye. 9 divided by 3, I hit her up, she gon' tell